Good morning, everyone. I wanted to send out a quick video and just show you some of the planning we've been doing with regard to the schedule for next year. As we all know, things are very fluid and we're receiving updates, it seems like daily, from the Oregon Health Authority and the Oregon Department of Education for everything that we can and cannot do next year. I'm sure by now most of you have seen some of the email communication that Dr. Ludwig has put out with regard to some bones with regard to what our schedule is going to look like. This morning, I wanted to share with you a little more specifics. So that's why you're watching this. So I'm going to run through a slide deck real quick. Please jot down questions that you have as you go. If you see here on the first page here, if you click, there's an opportunity for you to write your questions in. Also on Tuesday at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., I'll be hosting a live Zoom meeting that's voluntary, of course, for you to pop on to ask any questions that you may have. We'll also be doing a similar process with students and parents on Wednesday. Just kind of want to give you a sneak preview of kind of what's up and to let you start kind of thinking about and processing what's going on. So let's begin. So what is our goal? Our goal is to draft of a high school schedule for the 2020-21 school year and collect feedback from high school teachers and staff members. That's you. We are focused on crafting a hybrid model of 5 days of instruction, with 2 or 3 of those days being on-site and a robust distance learning from home. What are the components of our operational blueprint? As you see, decision-making that centers always in equity, safety and wellness for all, that focuses on physical distancing, students and cohorts, and repurposing of learning spaces. Today's focus is on instruction. Summary of the Oregon Health Authority and the Oregon Department of Education requirements is to establish a minimum of 35 square feet per person when determining room capacity, screen all students and staff for symptoms on entry to the bus school every day. This can be done visually and or with confirmation of a parent, caregiver, and guardian. More information will be coming on that. We'll create schedules and communicate staggered arrival and or dismissal times. You've seen some of that already. Assign students or cohorts to an entrance, assign staff to conduct visual screenings. That's a lot of logistics there, but we'll work our way through it. And seating to arrange students' desks and other spaces to at least 6 feet apart. Assign seating so students are in the same seat at all times. Some of the feedback we've got from students already is they really like the online, is just receiving constructive feedback often. Having assignments uploaded at the beginning of the week is very helpful for students. Focusing on a new course, a few courses at a time. That's why we're looking at having kids focus on 3 courses at a time during a quarter. Teachers focus on teaching the essentials. Students also work at their own pace. Oftentimes kids really enjoy having instructional videos to revisit, to go back and do reteach and to look at key concepts. And we did find that students really enjoy the Zoom in-person check-ins that I know a lot of you did during Distance Learning for All, and which some of you are doing right now in summer school. We'll receive a lot of good feedback and learning from those teachers who are currently conducting summer school classes. So thank you for that. So some of the requirements and recommendations for instruction by the ODE, there's 3 options here. We have the on-site learning, we have the hybrid learning, and we have the comprehensive distance learning. What we're going to focus on today is our hybrid learning models that we're potentially looking at. But here's the thing we need to really understand is that at any time we need to be able to pivot to comprehensive distance learning. We all know that the situation with COVID-19 is changing drastically at all times. And, you know, I'm recording this on Friday, July 3rd. Who knows what things look like on, you know, Monday, September 3rd, or, you know, moving into the future. So it's incredibly important that we stay nimble. And I'm going to ask that everyone plans on starting with comprehensive distance learning. That should be your focus on improving what you did in the spring, what you're doing this summer, and looking how the in-class opportunity for students to be there to be an opportunity to capitalize and strengthen the comprehensive distance learning that you're doing we'll have a lot more information on that as we come, but I want you just to really kind of think about when you're planning your classes to always be willing and quickly be able to pivot back to comprehensive distance learning if need be. So some considerations I want everybody to focus on is safety, equity, and increased access for all of our school communities imperative. Utilization of online learning to deliver content with in-person support. That's what I was talking about. Responsive to meeting mental health and student and staff well-being. We're very concerned about not only our students, but all of our staff members as well. We want to focus on your safety and well-being as well. Continued use of Google Classroom for all classes. Learned a lot through that in the spring, as you all know. Instructional minutes will include on-campus and at-home distance learning. That's important to take that into consideration. Coherence with the primary and middle schools, busing and school times. That's what's making a lot of this challenging, is because we have to be in sync with our primary and middle school programs, and we have to make the buses work. So, a lot of you have had some creative ideas and some things we can do, but logistically it has to work for the entire K-12 system, not just the high schools. We must always plan to meet all of our Oregon graduation requirements. That still stays at 24. Understand that not all students will be on campus at the same time. We'll approximately have 14 to 16 kids in a traditional classroom, depending upon the room size. We all know that the classrooms at the high school vary a little bit, and we're also going to have to be creative and look at flexible spaces and creative spaces that maybe in the past hadn't been classrooms, but we're going to need to have classrooms extra when you consider how many students were able to get into one space. And again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, is how easily can our schedule pivot in the event to short-term distance learning when it is potentially necessary. So the current drafts that have already been out is primary schools going from 8 to 1:30. K4 will be on site every day. Grade 5 will be a AB cohort model, much like us, kind of modeling what's happening in the middle school. But the primaries will be 8 to 1:30. The middle school model begins at 9:20 and ends at 2:50 with an AB cohort model, 3 classes a day. Our model, the high school model, will begin at 8:40 and the buses will leave at 2:10. We will utilize an AB cohort model as well with 3 classes a day. And I'm going to show you a couple of sample schedules that I want everyone to think about, because we're going to want your input before we make a final decision. And lastly, we will have a full online WLWV online program that'll begin in the fall of 2020. I know some of you have already expressed an interest in teaching in that model. More information will be coming on that. Students that attend the online program will not be on campus at all and will be strictly online through an outside provider. We're still working on what that will look like with support of Westland Wilsonville teachers. And if you are part of that program, understand that it'll be something completely outside of the high school. And again, they are enrolled full-time in that program. So here's the first draft schedule I want you to take a look at. So it's obviously with AB cohorts rotating Monday through Friday. Students will have 3 on-site classes a quarter and switch after a new quarter. Each quarter class is worth 0.5 credits like it normally would be. Teachers would teach 3 courses per quarter, 3 of 3 for 2 quarters, and 2 of 3 for 2 quarters. So basically all we're doing is we're taking our 5 of 6 model and chopping it in half. So over the course of 2 quarters, you would have 5 classes. Classes in this model are 85 minutes long. Students may choose to go home at lunch or stay in a designated spot on campus and attend one of their 3 classes for support. And students may also choose to do a 4th class online. So you see here, we will have a 0 period. A lot to get kind of worked out with that, but the 0 period will exist. First period from 8:40 to 10:05. Second period from 10:10 to 11:35. Third period from 11:40 to 1:05. Lunch starting at 1:05 to 1:35, and then a time that we're calling access to work with students to work with teachers that they would need if they choose from 1:35 to 2:10. The buses do not leave until 2:10. That's the soonest we can get them there. Students are not required to stay on campus after lunch. They can go home then if they'd like, but just to know that the buses leave at 2:10, that's why you see that kind of lag in time. And as far as all the other logistics during the course of the day, we'll get to that, but just kind of wanted to show you this first draft possible schedule and let you kind of think what that could look like for you. Our second draft schedule also starts with a 0 period. The big difference here is we've taken the access and lunch and put it in the middle of the day, from 11:40 till 12:40 so a full hour there. Students will be allowed to leave campus. Everything else is very similar as far as the information on the right. But then period 3 would go from 12:45 until 2:10. We think we can make both of these schedules work. But again, we wanted just to kind of give you a chance to look at it. We're also looking at some creative ways to use Wednesdays. There's still some things we need to work out on that. So as of right now, you may have seen already from the email from Dr. Ludwig on we are not having early release Wednesdays. So we have to look at different ways we can mix in PD and things of that nature. So those are the two schedules we're focusing on right now. Moving on. Again, we really, really want your feedback and your comments. As you see, we have opportunity for you to click here for questions and answers. Please share your thoughts with the drafts. Those of you who have been a part of the planning, I really appreciate it. There's still a lot going on here and a lot can change, but I did want to give everyone opportunity to at least kind of get a quick look at what we're chewing on right now. This really is truly just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many more different logistical things to work out. And again, there's the incredible importance that whatever we do is in lockstep and synergy with our primary schools and our middle schools. So, some of the creative thinking is challenging to make it all put together. But your feedback is super important. So thank you, everybody. Also, if you're watching this on Monday, again, on Tuesday, I will send out a link. Actually, Lisa Rodriguez is going to help me with this. Going to set up an opportunity to do a live Zoom with myself and other members of the admin team who are able to join us to hear just some of your thoughts. Again, more of a listening session. I'll answer any questions that I can during that time, but mainly it'll be just to kind of gather feedback and take back with me. We'll do that at 10 a.m. and at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. I'll send the link out to everybody. As always, thank you, everybody, for your patience, your flexibility, for your caring nature. And, we continue to muddle our way through this. I really hope everybody has an awesome summer. I'm actually trying to take a little bit of a break now, but I will be available for any time you need me, as always. So don't hesitate to shoot me a text or send me an email with whatever you need. Thanks, everybody. And I hope everybody had an awesome 4th of July weekend. And I will look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.